Hematite is something that I call a bloodstone. Before you get confused on what that means, I'm talking about the literal elemental factor, the blood element. It is a stone that carries the blood element, just like iron. Iron is another one, and actually hematite is technically 70% iron. Hematite, the word hematite, actually is derived from a Greek word meaning blood. When it's mixed with quartz, with clear quartz, a lot of times it is called blood quartz or fire quartz. Hematite has a wide range of different energy. By that I mean, everything is either made up of light or dark energy, right? Sun, moon, day, night. I don't ever mean good or bad. I just mean literal light or dark. Also with the sun, moon is, fire, ice. And the sun is fire and the dark is ice. It's very important when you're looking for hematite that you know what you want to use it for, because if you're getting a sun, day, light energy hematite, that's going to have a lot of fire energy to it. That'd be terrible to use in a situation where you need moon energy, ice, night, dark energy. You know what I'm saying? So you really need to make these two energies, night and day, light and dark, naturally butt heads with one another. I mean, that's how different they are. And if you're going for fire, that's great. But what if it's ice? You're not going to get much accomplished. So this one actually is the blood and ice. This is not any fire in it at all. This is hematite that's gotten infused into quartz, and this is part clear quartz, mostly grey quartz, which I'm a really big fan of, by the way. It's actually not smoky, it's actually literally just grey. And then a little bit of white milky quartz. And hematite naturally, when it's not infused in something, usually is not this brilliant. If you look at that is I know there's a bit of a glare, I'm sorry, but there's a very bright, brilliant bright red there. And typically hematite on its own in a raw ore, yes, might have a bit of rusty red to it. Really rare to have bright red in a raw ore. Usually it's got an armor on the outside of it. Paganism, what we call an armor, that is like a blackish silvery kind of color. And basically only when it gets infused in other stones, usually clear stones, does it reveal what's within. Does it reveal what it's really made of. And we don't call that an accident in paganism. Everything means something, there's no accidents. And so there is no accident that hematite actually, a big part of what it does is revealing what's within. A lot of what it teaches is to reveal hidden strengths within you that you may not know you have, to bring you to your fullest potential, to show you who you really are at the core of your heart, at the core of your soul, who that really is. It's very much a stone of insight. Anything that is discovered through this insight is a strength. It's designed to reveal literally the hidden strengths within you. It also has a lot of masculine fertility involved in it, male masculine energy and masculine fertility. It has a lot of shielding, protection energy in it as well. And it is considered a quite powerful protector stone. I'd say it's more so shielding than anything else, but I also see that it has a lot of great warrior potential. So not just shielding, but actual dagger, arrow type magic. Hematite, again, you have to make sure that it is what the type of stone you're looking for, because it is so diverse in energy. It could be light, it could be dark, it could be a mixture of both. And this one, that I have here that I was showing you, it's that ice and blood. It's the moon and blood. It's got no fire in it. That I'd say 35 to 40% is like that, and the rest tends to be fire. It's got the fire in it. And the most difficult thing is that you can't look at the hue. You can't just say, oh, that's got some oranges in it, it must be fire. You can't always just look at the hue, because it could be the exact same hue and it has totally different energy. You have to clairvoyantly sense the energy to be able to tell. You can't always look at it by just whatever the color is. It doesn't always work that way. So hematite, actually, sometimes the way that the ore is formed has to do with its meaning. For example, I actually just obtained one that actually cannot show you quite yet because it's still on the way here in the mail, but I did buy it. It is in the shape of a literal heart, like the organ, not the little drawing, but the actual organ. It's in the literal shape, to the T, of a heart. I mean, the ventricles at the top are a little too wide, and they're not formed welly, but the muscle part of the heart looks exactly, freakishly like a heart. So anything like that has the ability to form in that way. If you think about it, when you look at hematite ore, if it's a full ore, and it's not shattered pieces of an ore, it's technically a type of metal. And anything like that has the ability to kind of form and solidify in certain shapes. And in paganism, we don't think it's on accident that the way it's solidified is a certain shape, but we don't think that's just a coincidence. So look at the shape too of it, because that sometimes means something. I won't say always, but sometimes it potentially could mean something. Hematite likes to be, really likes to pair with quartz a lot. You find it with quartz a lot. You also find it with tourmaline a lot. You find it mixed in actually a lot of different stones. And I find that quite interesting. The reason why it pairs so welly with all these different things in a broad spectrum sort of way is because on the individual spectrum, each individual stone differs vastly in energy from the next. You'll never find one hematite to have the exact same energy as the next. It's almost comparable to quartz in that way, because quartz, when I talk about quartz stone, you understand that that is very individualized, even far more than hematite is. And when you've got hematite in with quartz, it definitely, that hematoid quartz, definitely becomes a very specific, individualized, especially then, because then it's got the energy of the quartz too, that is known for seeking out individuals being very picky and very specific on who and what they work with and who they don't. Like I say, you know, with all my videos, but especially with this, you know, stones, you know, you never choose the stone. The stone is always going to choose you. And you just kind of have to be at the whim of whatever it decides, and you have to be all right with that. Otherwise, there will be no harmony there. Even if you're like of kin, you know, there still won't be any harmony there. There were probably 5 or 6 of these, you know, that were that kind of, you know, night energy, dark energy that I was looking for. And only this one was the one that was calling upon me. You know, the rest of them didn't want anything to do with me. So you have to learn how to clairvoyantly sense that. Otherwise, you're not going to get anything accomplished. Whatever you have planned to do, you know, however you want to use that stone, whatever you want to do with it, it's not going to work because that harmony isn't there. So you have to be really good at sensing the energies, which is a basic skill that we all have to learn in paganism. But it takes practice, and you don't get it right away. It's a learning curve. And so, you know, if you stumble upon one and you don't know any better, you could just get fuck-ass lucky. But, you know, it's best to have this ability to be able to sense, okay, which one is calling on me, which specific stone is calling on me. Because when it's hematite, usually, you know, it could be 1 out of 1,000, you know, and it's only that one that you're meant to work with. We do believe in paganism that it is like a, very much like it, well, it is an ancestor, and they are literal, they have a soul. In paganism, we believe that stones have souls. They can think, they can communicate, just not in the way we do. They've got a spirit, okay? So technically, you know, it's not an inanimate object. It's not inanimate at all. It is a being. It is a actual being, and you have to respect it.